Hi, welcome back to RIBESE'S Musings, where reality meets authenticity with your personal encourager, Ribese. It's yet another wonderful day where we get to meet up again on this space where we talk about life. We talk about it honestly, we talk about it authentically because, as you agree with me, life is lifing. A lot is happening. Talk about politics, talk about the trends on social media, one story after another. We are seeing so much happening. Talk about the economy. A lot is happening. And therefore, here we just try to slow down a bit, talk about life, be relatable because, we cannot just think about everything that's happening all the time because sometimes it's so discouraging. Sometimes it's just humiliating. Sometimes it just doesn't have hope. But here at RIBESE'S Musings, we are keen to ensure that we spread the hope, we spread the cheer, we spread the joy. By the way, tell me about my new set. How do you like it? Yeah, I thought I should bring you to nature a little more. I know you're used to my close space, but I thought let me take my people out and just have fun with them on a kind of nature environment. Just want to say a big thank you. Thank you so much for those who have been holding space for this conversation. If this is not your first time, you're always looking forward to my videos. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the shares. They really mean a lot. And to tell you for sure, I'm really grateful for the comments that I've been getting, people encouraging me to carry on, others telling me that video was very inspiring and they look forward to more of this. Trust me, I'm very grateful for that. And I always look forward to hear what you have to say. Your feedback means a lot to me. Also, if this is your first time, thank you again for bumping in here. Whether somebody referred you or you just came across because of the algorithm, asante sana sana for hopping in here and coming to listen to what Ribese has to say. By the way, would you consider subscribing? Because we say here, we are building a community of transformed people, one person at a time. Therefore, every subscription goes a long way to ensure that we build this big community because we want so many people to be transformed. We want people to be encouraged. We want people to look at the positive side of life. Karibuni sana. Alafu, by the way, karibu soda. Economy inakupeleka aje? Economy inakupeleka aje, by the way? We have been told recently that soda inamaanisha the economy is economing. So I'm having here my Sprite. I hope unajibamba na soda yako penye uko. Karibu sana. Yes, so, and even if it's not doing well, by the way, don't worry. Utakunywa soda. Soda ni mingi. Pesa zitapatikana. Utakunywa soda, So Kenya has so many banters that keep coming up here and there. And I think one of the best things about just being in the 254 is that there's always something to cheer you up. There's always something to, brighten your day. Yeah. So I'm really grateful. Today I have a very exciting topic that I feel like I want to share with you guys. A topic that I have been thinking about. A topic that I feel is important to consider. But before that, I've just been thinking about my week, how my week has been, the highlight of my week. I feel like this is a new segment I'll be bringing on set when I talk about different topics, because every week has a highlight, every week has something that kind of just pops. And so I felt like I want to share how my week has been, my highlights. And let me talk about an event that has been happening. The event of the week, a children's event that has been happening, that happens every month of August. That is big. It's a Christian event that is hosted in our church. It's called DVBS, where children come together from different church. It's actually an interdenominational children's activity. So this week I have been serving in the DVBS for my church, and guess what? I was teaching the small babies, and one of the highlights that have come from that week has been that hanging around with the children and just seeing how the children behave, and even remembering what the Bible tells us, that we need to be childlike. Especially when you deal with these small children, you can actually feel their hearts. You can actually feel their intention. You can actually feel how genuine children are. I remember how one minute you see a child crying, the other minute you see them laughing, one minute they are fighting, another minute they are all over the place. And for me, it was a highlight, because I was like, probably this is why we are told most of the times to be like children. I know we are in the adulting phase and there's a lot to think about. There's a lot that is on our plate, especially when you have to look for money, you have to make sure everything is working, you have maybe to do your studies, your further studies and everything. But what I was challenged with the children is how they are so receptive, they are so teachable, they are so easy to deal with. They don't hold on to grudges, they don't on to things that don't matter, and they are so happy. Anything small makes them happy. They dance a lot, they just, they're all over the place. And for a moment I was telling myself, I really want to also be childlike. I just want the child in me to come out, I just want, even when of course I have to deal with the different things of life, but that should not overshadow the childlikeness in me. I should not be so uptight that, yes, life is hard, but I should not make it harder by just being uptight. So hanging out with the children this week has made me really reconsider my approach to things, And then even as I finish about that highlight, the way children are so trusting. Children can be so trusting. When you tell them, I'll bring for you a sweet tomorrow, they just trust without overthinking. And tomorrow when you come, for sure they will ask you, you said you'll bring me a sweet. If you give the sweet, they just feel so happy. And I also felt like I just need to be that easy to trust, especially God, or even the people that I need to trust, without overthinking, without beating myself up. So really, that was my highlight, and I'm super, super grateful. Though, of course, I am very tired. The week was so hectic. There was a lot of running around. There was a lot of, good chaos. But in all, I took up my lessons, and I am so, so excited that I got to be a part of that experience. Yeah, so having said that, I think I want to delve into my topic for today. I said that this is a topic that has been lingering in my head. I don't know about you, but sometimes I just think that linger in your head so long, they don't want to let you go. And I feel like that's what this topic has done to me. Since I started thinking about the different subjects that I want to just share, this topic just popped in my head and it somehow refused to go. Today I'm talking about how to apply hindsight. How to apply hindsight. And somebody may be asking, hey, that English is so hard, or I've never heard of that one. But maybe in simple terms, just how to be retrospective, how to look back with appreciation or with reflection, especially if you are at a season where things are just not working, And I know as you have now gotten to know me, I'm somebody who loves to encourage. I am somebody who loves to help you just think the best of any situation. It's not easy. I know sometimes you may be wondering, surely even in this you want me to think positive? Really, Ribese? And I'm telling you, yes. Even in any situation, there is always an opportunity to think positive. There is always an opportunity to look at the brighter side. And so even as I'm talking about how to apply hindsight, you may be wondering, why should I apply hindsight? In any case, even the Bible itself says, forget the former things. Why, look forward, look ahead. But in this context, I'm talking about, just imagine when you get yourself in a very dark place, like in a place where you feel like, here I am cornered, here I am done. For instance, maybe you are, let's talk about maybe the academic situation, and maybe you're going to sit for an exam which is really taking a toll on you completely. It's like I have tried, and it's not working, or even you have lost something, you have lost an income, or maybe you are just generally you are going through a sickness, you're just going through, just think about those difficult things that sometimes you're not even able to talk about. Maybe your relationships are not working, for whatever reason. And actually, I just came to realize sometimes the way they say trouble does not knock. You're just there minding your business and then trouble comes. And it's a heavy thing. You're not able to figure out what's going on, what's happening here. So here, that's when I just thought about hindsight and how hindsight is a gift, because now that means you are applying your memory, you're thinking about the past. And so here when I talk about encouraging you to apply hindsight, I am encouraging you to be a person who, for lack of a better word, does not waste their experience, and a person who acknowledges and appreciates that whatever experience that I'm going through, be it a prolonged experience, be it a very difficult short experience, whatever it's happening, it serves a purpose. I'm thinking about the way sometimes you can just be coming from work and then you get yourself in a snarl up of traffic that won't let go. I don't know if you've been there. You just left work early enough. You knew by, let's say, 6 o'clock or whatever, I'll be home. Then you get a snarl up that is pushing you to a place where maybe even at 8 p.m. you won't be home. So in that situation, it's easy to start complaining, just as we do as humans. Many times when we get ourselves in a place of, in an uncomfortable place, it's very, very easy to start complaining, to start, like beating yourself in that situation, or thinking like, maybe had I left late or something, just thinking negative about that situation. But I'm calling you to a place where whenever you find yourself like here, there is no way out. Because you can agree with me that in most of our dark seasons, it always looks like there's no way out. But now when you're applying hindsight, you look back. Maybe in the past you went through a situation. It was not similar. It's not similar to what you're going right now. Maybe back then you lost a job and somehow you got the job. You got a job and even a better one. Or maybe you even lost a friendship. Maybe there's a friendship that was very close to you. Then somehow it broke. But right now when you're looking, you're like, probably thank God that friendship broke, because now I have even better quality friendships, or I am more self-aware, or I am a better friend to myself. So that is what I'm saying, that when you apply hindsight, then it helps you to appreciate that even this season that I'm in, it will come to pass. I may not know how long it will take, because again, whatever seasons that we go through, we have no control. We absolutely have no control of how long it will come, because at the first place we didn't welcome it. It brought itself. So I'm just telling you that when you find yourself in a situation where it's like, this one I can't handle, this one is too much, this one God might even someone else, I'm actually calling you to a mindset shift where you look back and say, really, this is so dark. And actually, let me also just give this rejoinder that I'm not saying that you should not acknowledge that this is tough. I'm not saying that, because if something is tough, it's tough. And when you acknowledge that thing is tough, then you're now real. Because I'm not trying to say that you just ignore that, yes, it's tough, but you're not saying, no, I'm okay. It's no, acknowledge that this is painful. This one really hurt. But in the process of acknowledging, I am also welcoming you to remember in the past when things were so hard, when things were so difficult, when it was very unpleasant, and somehow you made it through. And the best thing I think about applying hindsight is that it kind of helps you to balance. When you apply hindsight, you remember and say, had it not been for that, I wouldn't have been here. Had I not experienced that heartbreak, maybe I wouldn't have met this friend who is much better. Had I not gone that route, maybe I would not have met this person who eventually gave me a job, or maybe I would not have met, I would not have gotten this kind of connection which has now put me here. So sometimes when you apply hindsight, you realize that some of these things, though they look difficult, they are really detours that are taking us to the place where we are supposed to be. So I wanted that to really sink in, because even me, I have found myself at a place where I'm like, this is so hard. This is so hard. This one I can't. This one I can't. This one I can't. But with experience over time, I have actually been able to take time not to complain, because I, just as all of us do, I have actually gone through very, very not so pleasing situations. And with time, when I realize that I take time, I acknowledge this is messy, this is really bad. But even with that, I sit down and think, okay, so how else should it have been? Because again, sometimes we always look at it's getting bad, but how else should it have been anyway? And then when I also remember that, well, the other experience must have been even worse. But here I am, stronger, wiser, more courageous, able to even face people, more determined, a better self-esteem than I was, then it actually grounds me to a place where I'm like, yes, this situation is so bad. It's taking so much longer than I had anticipated. But if I survive that situation, then even this one I can survive. And so when I talk about applying hindsight, I'm just encouraging you that when you find yourself at a place where you're just so full of yourself, it's like you're just immersed in your troubles, you're immersed in your frustrations. Like right now, even in our society, with the politics that is going on, with the economical situation that doesn't seem to want to go away, this is the best place to look back and say, yes, the economy is really bad, but I can actually do something about it. I can actually, maybe there's something good that is coming out of it. So my dear viewer, mine is to just encourage you that yes, this trouble will always come. There will always be a point where trouble will come. But when you're in that place, please don't sit there. Don't bury yourself in that situation. Don't even deny yourself, because sometimes you can actually just deny yourself going out, deny yourself talking to people, deny yourself experiencing life in different aspects, because you're just thinking about how to solve this problem. My encouragement to you is that as you apply hindsight, then you gain perspective, then you appreciate, then you don't waste that moment, you don't waste that situation. And when you come out of it, you actually, when the season actually comes that now that season of that problem is over, you're more grateful. You're like, thank God I held on. Thank God I didn't give up. Thank God I didn't curse in the process. Thank God I didn't display my worst, but I was at my best. And even as I come to a conclusion, I feel like the story of Joseph in the Bible is really a story where we can see hindsight applied. You remember when his brothers came to him and they had really put him into a very, very dark place. They threw him in a pit. They literally betrayed him. Can you imagine being betrayed by your brothers, your own blood brothers? And it happens in society, like the people you never thought would betray you, the people you thought would always have your back, they literally can go against you. But what did Joseph do? When that time came, he had to meet his brothers, and the brothers were there, all sorry, all feeling guilty. He told them that, no, guys, I have applied hindsight, and when I look back, it is not all that it looks. To you it looks this way, but to me it looks the other way. And I will read for you a verse, because again, we always like to anchor all the things, everything that we do, we always like to anchor it in the Word of God. And so that story of Joseph and how he translated his situation in a very powerful way that we keep talking about it even now. It's in Genesis chapter 50 verse 20, which says, "But as for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, in order to bring about, as it is this day, to save many people alive." So that is a very powerful perspective, and it is Joseph, in my assessment, who applied hindsight. To him, it ceased to be about him. It ceased to be about him. It now started becoming about the greater good, the greater mission. Why is it that I am the only one who is going through this? Why not just anybody else had to be thrown the fit but me? And then he realized that, you know what, it looked like it was about me, but kumbe it wasn't. It was actually about the greater good of the